This is pretty much the same exact situation I had with Intimidator because about 2 years ago was when I rode both of them for the first time, and for some reason I reviewed neither of them. I did Fury, but I don't know why I didn't do these two, and so today I'm going to be reviewing Afterburn at Carowinds. This is the B&M Invert, and it is widely considered one of the most intense out there, and I can definitely say it is. And since I didn't really get that much footage of this ride, credit to some of the footage in here to El Toro Ryan. Some of it is mine, but a good bit of it is his. And let's get right on into this. So when you walk up to Afterburn, you're going to notice that this ride is definitely themed to flight. It is themed to jets or fighter pilot stuff, you know, like that. It used to be called Top Gun, and it is really cool theming. I'd say before Copperhead Strike, this one had the best theming in the park, in my personal opinion. Yeah, I mean, some argue that Fury had theming, but, like, it's kind of weird. It's just hexagons, yeah. The sign looks cool, but it's really vague. It's not that cool. But yeah, Afterburn looks really nice. It does have that white color scheme or silver, and it has blue supports. The trains definitely look cool. They have those fighter pilot looking tops, and yeah, this thing looks really nice. It is definitely a good looking ride. You go into the station, and most of the time this ride is usually dead. I'd say when it's not a Saturday, this ride is completely dead in the station. But anyway, you're going to step into your trains, and of course, it's the old school B&M trains. They are awesome. Hard plastic restraints. It's still really good, though. I love these trains. They are really, really cool. And you climb to the top, reaching about 113 feet with a 113-foot drop. And this drop, you know, it is very, very typical. It's nothing special at all. However, if you are in the back, I'm going to tell you right now, you get whipped straight down that thing, just like any other old school B&M Invert. It is the most awesome feeling. It is so intense and whippy. I just absolutely love it. When you reach the bottom of that drop, you're going to hit a top speed of around 62 miles per hour. And it definitely feels like you were going really fast through the section of the ride. It is really nice. You hit that vertical loop, and this loop is really good. I'd say it's more whippy than anything on like Alpengeist. Alpengeist loop is really solid as well. However, this one was just a lot more whippy than I was expecting. Remember, back row on this ride is going to make everything that much better. It is very, very aggressive, and you guys are going to love it. And then you move on into that Immelman, and this Immelman is decent. It is definitely not my favorite inversion or favorite type of inversion, but it is alright. It's definitely just your typical element. After this, you go into one of my favorite parts of the ride. It is that awesome ZeroG Roll. Whips you straight through it. Now, when I went back and rode this recently, it wasn't as good as I remembered it being. However, if you ride the ZeroG Roll when it is really heated up in the summer, it is going to whip you like crazy in that back row. It still was really good. It was really aggressive, but just not as good as I remembered, you know. But after this, you move into my favorite part of the ride, which is this freaking Batwing. It is so good. The aggressiveness level is at 1000. It is so amazing. And when you hit the bottom, when you're going through that trench area, your legs are just completely numb. It is so crazy. And these two inversions back to back are just so good. It's a great combination. And I heard Montu's Batwing is 3 times better, so I'm really looking forward to that. And a Batwing is just one of my favorite inversions. It is way better than a Cobra Roll, and I mean way better. Following this, you're going to swoop up over the station where, yeah, you get a little bit of airtime. Like, I was not really expecting anything, but you kind of come out a little bit. It's not much at all, though. But following up, you go into one of the most whippy inversions, if not the most whippy I have experienced. It is that Corkscrew at the end of the ride. It is so good. I bet you guys have heard about how crazy this Corkscrew is, and everything you heard is right. It is so aggressive. In the back row, it feels like you're just done. It feels like you just got killed. It's so good. It literally feels like you're about to break your neck, but you don't, because that's just how awesome it is. This inversion is great. Is it my favorite part of the ride? No, but it is definitely at least number 2 or number 3. It is a really, really fun maneuver. And then to finish off the ride, you're going to go through that final leg numbing helix, and you really go fast through this helix. I was surprised by how quickly it actually took you through it. It's really aggressive and nice. And then you hit the brakes, and that is Afterburn. It's a little bit of a shorter invert, however, it packs a punch. It is so much fun. I find it a little bit overrated. I think people talk about this a lot and just give it so much praise, but there's not a lot of people who talk about Great Bear or Alpengeist. Now, out of the 3 B&M inverts I've ridden, this is right in between. My favorite B&M invert is still Alpengeist. My least favorite is Great Bear, and then Afterburn is just right in between there. So it's a great ride. It is really, really good. In the back rows, it is extremely intense. This is definitely by far the most aggressive ride at Carowinds. And do not sit there and say Fury, because yes, Fury does have more force than Afterburn. However, it is nowhere near as aggressive, and that is just a fact you cannot deny. But yeah, Afterburn is just overall such a great ride. I love this. It is my number 2 B&M Invert I've ridden. Very intense, very aggressive, and overall just a great ride in general. Like I said in my Intimidator review, if you're riding Intimidator in the front row, it is a little bit better than Afterburn, but if you ride Intimidator in any of the back rows, Afterburn is definitely better. So those two are definitely very well paired. You can swap them. They're easy to swap. They're just such a great duo. Before Fury, these were the two that everyone would come to Carowinds for, and they are both great, especially Afterburn. So for Afterburn's final score, I'm going to be giving it an 8 out of 10. I wanted to give it a higher score, but I just feel like I couldn't because it doesn't really have that full package, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it does have all the inversions, but it just felt so short. It felt like there were a few things missing. It could have been a longer ride. There could have been more elements, you know. But it's fine. For what it is such an intense ride. It is really fun. I think it's a tad overrated, but the reason I gave it that 8 out of 10 is because it's just so good, and I see why people love it. It's really intense, and it's definitely one of the best B&M inverts in North America. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Post your comments down in the section below if you've ridden Afterburn, and what are your thoughts on it. I find it a tad overrated. However, I still love this ride. It is in my top 15, and it is just a great coaster. But anyways, until next time, coaster fans, I will see you later.